Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blind Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Roni, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. I would like to first give a shout out to FeedSpot for placing Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blind Intelligence on the top 35 indie music podcasts. This week, we have a very special guest. We have Atul, which is a electronic pop artist. He is from India, but has relocated to Los Angeles. So take a look at his interview, and I'll get back with you in a minute.
I'm originally from India, moved to LA to pursue my music career, and my music is mostly pop and electronic, and it has been an exciting journey so far, and I'm really loving it here. So, yeah.
So how long have you been here?
I've been in Los Angeles for past 10 years. I moved here in 2012, and yeah, so I've been playing around in the different places around LA, the Sunset Strip, and different clubs and with my friends and all. Yeah, so 10 years, I mean, it just passes by really quickly.
So what attracted you to do music in the first place?
I guess so. When I was originally a software kind of a guy. Like I was learning computer science in college, and I got this really started playing guitar in college, and that's how my interest actually built up from there. Like songwritings and performing was really what I enjoyed eventually. So after the college, I decided like that's what I want to pursue because that's what I enjoy. So basically, that was the main reason I actually moved here, and then just trying to do something different, come up with some different songs and ideas, or mix songs with different ethnicity, and to make something new. And that's why I moved in here. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your latest project.
So I am working on three new songs. Actually, it's pretty ready, but one song is about freedom, in the sense like people are stuck in life and with something, right? I mean, they have boundaries defined in life because of, let's say, job or relationship or whatever, and you want to break free. So it's kind of a song that kind of gives you a little more enthusiasm or inspiration to break free from your current scenario and try to achieve what you really want to achieve. And then I have like a dance song, really cool dance song with it's called "Dance in the Moonlight." It's pretty much people just dancing together. It's like fun-loving song. It's like do not care, just enjoy the current moment, live in the moment, and just dance. That's my second song. And then I'm re-releasing a couple of old songs as well, in the sense like re-recorded them, remastered them. One of the songs is like I really love the Good Meal, which is it has been like most popular song. Like many people have heard it on the Spotify, and I'm just re-recording that and re-releasing that. Kind of a fresh, modern vibe, fresh tunes, and it's pretty fun song.
Okay. So how many projects have you completed professionally?
Um,
On your own as an independent?
Independent, mostly album-wise, I had one album with 10 songs on it. I released in 2015. That was quite long ago. And since then, I've been mostly like mixing songs with different genres and working with other artists. I think this is the second album that is going to come out. I'm not gonna call it as an album, but this is basically my plan is to release the songs every 2 months and have the ideas out and not even call anything, because nowadays like album doesn't even make sense. People just care about listening to singles. So yeah, that's
Okay.
my.
Tell me this. Out of all the genres that you have worked with, what is your favorite genre to actually make music to be a part of that genre?
That is a great question. So I actually sometimes really, it depends, but I really like to mix some acoustic sound with some electronic music, and kind of mix of that vibe brings me something different, some different excitement in a sense. It just it gives you like all a feeling of really like, oh, you know this thing, but it's also like something new. So I really like mixing, let's say acoustic guitar with some really electronic synth or pads or something like that, and then come up with a really cool like modern beat that basically like sounds great. Um, I think that's pretty much where I experiment with like very modern areas. I don't go like a jazz or blues or anything like that. I really enjoy listening to it, but I don't really like. I don't write on those genres.
Okay, so tell me this. I ask artists to describe their sound. And once you describe your sound, if you had to create a new genre, what would you call it? So I'm going to ask you to describe your sound. And if you had to create a new genre, what would you call it?
Very, very good question again. I guess I would call this as, ooh, it would be complex. Um,
Look, we like complex.
yeah. So I think I would call it like acoustic electronic pop. Maybe that probably will be the main three combination. That would be maybe the easier to understand to the people who doesn't know. If I just call it like, hey, this is Atul's genre, like no people will not know that. So yeah, I guess this might work.
So tell me one of your best learning experience working with an artist in a genre that you wasn't really familiar with.
Great. So I think best learning experience I had when I was performing live a lot. Usually, when you perform live, you meet with different people who have played in different genres, right? I mean, you could have a jazz drummer just playing the pop stuff, and they bring out that element, that dynamics of different music that makes it a little different. So I guess in that sense, I've learned like different beats. When I'm performing, I understand some beats are a little different. And then on the synth and pad side, let's say I have some keyboard person who's performing with me, and when a person has a different style, like it has different style. So you basically learn playing with all these people, and you kind of take that inspiration in and maybe try to come up with something new that people can relate to eventually.
So I'm gonna ask you this question. How do you feel about looking at your career, virtual versus live?
I think I'm here to basically, my goal is to perform major live events and to break into the market where I can be like proud of saying that, okay, I want a group that really says, like, I want to have those group of people that say, oh, my favorite song is from this artist, right? From Atul song. And I think it doesn't have to be very large, even like very small group of people say that. I think that's how I focus my content. And if I can find that group of people that really, really love my song, I think that's what I'm looking for right now. And then eventually do the performance around. And yeah, the performance is great. Like it's so much fun, like doing the performance, and it's a whole different process that you go through.
All right. Well, I thank you for coming. Is there any last minute and words of encouragement, stories that you want to tell, anything, your social media handles, or anything about Atul?
All right. I think thank you for having me, Roni. You guys can follow me on Instagram or whatever social media you have. It's on Atul Music. And yeah, I'll see you guys there on the social media.
And where can they find your music?
You can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. So yeah, just search Atul Music or Atul, let's say Emotions. Maybe that's the first album name. So if you search Atul Emotions, you'll find the complete album right away on Spotify.
I hope that you learned a lot about Atul from his interview and want to stream and buy his music. Remember that you can always find us on all podcasting platforms, streaming live on social media. You can find us on www.blind-intelligence.com. And don't forget to check out FeedSpot. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, we are on rpentradio.com doing the Freedom Mix. You catch us there every Wednesday. I got some new shows coming up, some new interviews scheduled. So it's the summertime, ready to have some fun. So I see you next week. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media, and on rpentradio.com.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a